One of my all-time favourite strategies has been to hope for the best and plan for the worst. It's very stoic type of philosophy, and a lot of people think it. They look at it as pessimism. However, for me, it's worked very much over the years, and lots of things you might be able to describe me as, but pessimistic isn't one of them. I'm very positive, and for me, everything in business, if I just think about that saying, about planning for the worst case scenario, it shows up all the way around, but I have to hope for the best. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. So if we put a risk assessment against everything that's going on in our business, against the coronavirus, that would have been probably one that we couldn't actually plan for because we didn't know. But there are other things that we can take into consideration, about sickness with staff, about the floods, about Wi-Fi crashing, your phone receptions, all sorts of things like that. Most people actually go through their business, they don't think about those situations. They'll worry about it when it's starting to happen, but not actually do anything with it. So, for me, the first part of this is, let's have a risk assessment, that things that could go wrong, and then put a plan in place. The second thing is being aware of the competition. It's nice to know what our competition are doing, not because we want to copy them or do anything like that, but let's see what they're doing. Again, it's awareness. If we're aware of something, then we can very much be in a place where we can change it, but we can't turn a weakness into a strength if we're not aware of it. So, if somebody's offering a new service, let's have a look at it, what they're doing. How's that going to impact on you? And plan for that to cover it. So therefore, we're hoping that everything's going to go well, but we're maybe putting a plan in place just to cover that. The next bit is about looking after your team. To me, this is crucial that anybody that's in it works first. So not only the people that work for me, but the associates and the joint ventures I've got, I want them to be prepared for, the worst case scenario, just in case anything happens. So we will get through it quicker, like what is happening with this coronavirus. We're thinking on our feet now, by the hour or by the minute even. So, you must, if you're prepared, it's going to take out a lot of that stress. If you have got a team, what are you doing to cover your staff shortages? What systems and processes have you got in place so that we are not just dependent on one person? It's crucial that we've got other people that can do the job. Are they happy? What is your kind of leadership like? Are you actually preparing those things to make sure that, something's in place for you to lead your team, even if you're not there? How's that going to happen? The next bit is about looking after yourself. It's okay looking after your team, but you really do need to look after you as a person. What have you got in place if you can't be at work? What is there? After all, I say that to people, if you can't leave your business alone for quite a while and come back and it's better, you haven't really got a business, you've got a job. And if that's the case, what safeguards are you putting in place to make sure you're okay? And then finally, what about the people that you actually do business with? Your suppliers, your designers, if you've got them, your accountant, other business contacts. What are you doing with your networking? In times like this, things are really tough out there. We need to maintain those relationships and make sure that, we are keeping contact with those people. Because now more than ever, engagement is absolutely crucial with people, that we stay in touch. Because if this goes on for 2-3 months, we could be in a position where probably, people have lost touch with us and they've gone and they've forgotten about us. So when business does restart and refire up, we want to be in the strongest position that we've maintained those relationships. So have a think through those things. Obviously, as always, the blog, the written word, there's a lot more detail in there for you, so have a look for that. But for me, this is very much about, those 5 things. Do a risk assessment on your business, be aware of the competition, make sure you're looking after your team, make sure you're looking after you, because that As always, you are very important. And what about all your contacts and people that, you know, your bigger family, your network? So let's look after all of those. And as always, folks, let's do it now. Come on. And if you've enjoyed this video, please watch the next video just here, or subscribe to my YouTube channel just here.